Oh, one bright light in this awful weekend. Speaker Pelosi, who is without a doubt the greatest speaker in the history of the body. Okay, are you guys as depressed as I am?
Yes.
I'm exhausted. This Wisconsin thing is just... and by the way, can I just say, Chris, you and I were just in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I have always loved Wisconsin so much. It's where we started Sexy Liberal. Could not be...
Great people there.
Nicer people, right? Seriously, the nicest people I've ever met. And I just
that was my main takeaway from being in Wisconsin, was how nice the people were.
But I mean, between the Blake trial, a black man shot in the back, I don't know how many times, unarmed. They've been through that. And then the Rittenhouse verdict, which was just a travesty, and then this thing last night, which, as we were saying before the show, tragically just appears to be
crime
unrelated to, like just in the commission of another crime or something.
They were escaping another crime.
But oh my God, I've met the Milwaukee dancing grandmas and the marching band and the dancing girls, and you're just like, oh my God. It's a Christmas parade. And you have to admit, all of us, when it happened in Wisconsin, of course you're thinking how many people are going to be emboldened by the Rittenhouse verdict. And then immediately I thought of, because we've made it legal to plow into protesters with your car if you don't like them, or shoot people that you don't agree with. And, obviously it appears at this hour to be unrelated. I guess we don't know anymore. But
they haven't made an official announcement
The latest this morning is 5 dead and 20 injured.
Yeah.
Some, I'm sure, quite grievously.
I'm sure that will go up, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's... but yeah, Eric Bollert wrote another piece this morning. It is just... It's hard to even, take it all in. By last night, you're already depressed about the Rittenhouse verdict. Yeah. And then this happens in the same state, and you're just... Again, part of the Rittenhouse verdict, they're saying, is laws. I mean, these laws are ridiculous to stand your ground.
They're written to protect gun owners and not civilians.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that the response to Heather Heyer being killed was, let's make it legal to run over protesters. In I don't know how many states they've done that, And granted, this wasn't a protest. It's just a Christmas
parade.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
Okay. So we will obviously update you as soon as there's any more information out of Wisconsin. But I especially, Chris, I don't know why, just having been there, it's just my heart is like, I just was literally like, it was a full glass last night. I just started tears. I'm like, because I was already feeling raw. I don't know about you about the Rittenhouse thing. It's just online, the right wing, white supremacists. It's like the Super Bowl. Yeah. It's like they won the Super Bowl. They're so excited. I mean, and as Eric writes, GOP violence is the most important political story in America. And once again, one I think largely the mainstream media is missing. The fact that you have congressmen just falling over each other to praise this vigilante killer and to celebrate the death of 2 people this weekend. And who was it? Paul Gosar? I'm trying to think the most awful of the awful.
Yes.
Offering to
arm wrestle Matt Gaetz.
Arm wrestle Matt Gaetz for Kyle Rittenhouse as an intern.
Great. Meanwhile, Mass and Cawthorn telling people to be dangerous.
Yeah. And I was not prepared for last night. You know why? Because I did watch Meet the Press and Bill Maher.
That's
yes,
your
I did.
fault.
Why
That's
don't
on
you
you.
do
That's
that?
on you.
This chicken scratch was already my angst and anger before last night happened.
Oh my God.
That's not Sunday night viewing. You should watch something like The Great British Bake Off.
Yes. Oh my God! So we have to get Soledad O'Brien, who Glenn Kirshner said he will help us get Soledad O'Brien on. She just posted something about Chuck Todd. She said he's just not good at his job.
He's not.
No,
I've said that for a long time.
He's the worst journalist ever. There is never any follow up. There's never any pushback.
Right.
Who did he have on? Republican Kevin Kramer from who was he from? Republican from North Dakota, I believe. Yeah. But he just what'd you think of Rittenhouse verdict? He let him get away with, these guys he killed, they were violent criminals who were armed too. There's no pushback. Excuse me, the 2 people that were killed, the first one was armed with a plastic bag that he threw at Rittenhouse. The second one had a skateboard. They were not violent criminals that were... Chuck Todd just let that go by, right?
And it's not like Rittenhouse checked their records before he shot them.
Right.
You didn't do a background check or anything.
But first of all, they were not armed. He's like, well, they were violent criminals. They were armed too. They were... Like, no, they were really a plastic bag and a skateboard now is being armed. And first of all, he's an active shooter.
Yes.
Of course, people were trying to stop him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the guy that was
His arm.
yes, maimed, yes, he had a gun, but again, this guy had already shot 2 people dead.
Yeah.
And he,
If anything, that was self-defense.
right, yeah, no,
That
exactly.
third guy.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Just that he lets them get away with. They were all violent criminals that were armed. It's like no. And the other thing about the whole I thought he was going to disarm me. He's strapped to your chest.
Yeah.
How is he going to get an AR-15 away from you that is strapped to your chest? Right? I mean, it's just I can't. Okay.
Oh,
With
and
the Rittenhouse coverage. Yes.
And the interview that Tucker Carlson did with Kyle Rittenhouse.
I couldn't.
Kyle
I haven't
could not
seen it
be
yet.
more douchey.
I haven't seen it. What did he say?
I didn't watch it.
It's
can't
just the
watch it.
tone he took. Yeah, I support Black Lives Matter, and
Oh no! Oh, I'm not a racist. I
Yeah.
heard about that. I'm not a
Uh-huh.
racist. Yeah. Really, you went across the state lines to a community that was not yours to protect property that no one asked you to protect. It's like the Arbery case. No one asked you to protect an empty house that
Nobody-
Arbery wasn't stealing anything from or doing anything. No one asked you to.
No one asked him to be there at all.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, he wasn't cooperative with his own lynching. It's like. 3 times, Aubrey said, "I don't want to talk to you. I don't want." Really, you're chasing him, and that's like. First of all, what's with you didn't say you were making a citizen's arrest, and how's that okay? Really,
Yeah.
you're gonna get in the pickup truck with a cast of deliverance with a shotgun? Oh yeah, sure. Let me just get in. I'm sure this will go well.
That turns out well all the time.
Oh my God.
I think the Aubrey the trial in Georgia I think is going to turn out a little better than.
Oh,
the
God, I hope
Rittenhouse
so.
trial.
Well, they're also talking about the fact that Rittenhouse had a $2 million defense fund that these guys
you can buy an awful lot of reasonable doubt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I don't want to say the Aubrey trial because he's not on trial.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then you don't want to say the names of the
The trial in Georgia.
We
How
just
about
call
that?
them the cast of deliverance.
Yes.
Well, one of them's name
Lens
is,
crafters cannot help you once again with your racism. Oh, you have glasses on now. Oh, I see. Well, you're Clark Kent.
Right.
Yeah, you
What-
couldn't possibly have. Okay, hang on. Let me look at my chicken scratch on Meet the Press. Hang on.
Oh, God,
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
was a
Oh,
mistake.
also, so this Kevin Craig, he voted for the bill, so he's supposed to be one of the more
Moderate.
Republicans. And then Chuck Todd lets him get away. The minute they talk about that, he voted. Then he said, "Well, but we're just trying to." So, hang on a second. We're trying to stop these crazy big government socialist agenda of that you just voted for. We're trying to stop the crazy big government socialist agenda of these Democrats who are raising the debt and blowing up inflation. Oh my God. He said, and he said it's a party that has now gotten comfortable with socialism and anti-Semitism. Chuck Todd lets him get away with all that. All that.
Yeah.
All that. Right? I'm like, what? You're the one with the actual Nazis on your side in Charlottesville and elsewhere. We've got, okay. Because what, Ilhan Omar once said something about Israel and settlements or something? Really? Okay. And you're the actual Nazis. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be helpful to Chuck
know.
Todd. Really, because you're the ones with the actual Nazis on your side. Would you care to venture your thoughts on that? You just voted for the big government socialism, whatever he said, crazy socialism, communism.
I just hope the Republicans don't drive on any of these socialist roads.
You're about ready to lose it, aren't you?
Okay, and then, but this is what Eric, I can't wait to talk to
no.
Eric. This is what Eric is talking about. And then he actually said, when he said all that, he goes, well, I see what you're concerned about the left, but let's talk about, I'm like, oh, that's what all of those lies are the things you're concerned about, because it's both sides do it, really.
Of course.
It's the really,